It was a chilly evening in Madrid. The golden glow of streetlights flickered against the cobblestone pathways, casting long shadows as Cristiano Ronaldo, dressed in a sleek black coat, strolled through a quiet park after an intense training session. He enjoyed these solitary walks, a moment to clear his mind and reflect on his journey. The sound of rustling leaves and distant chatter filled the crisp autumn air. But tonight, something caught his attention. Near a dimly lit corner of the park, a group of teenagers was gathered around, their excited cheers echoing through the empty pathways. Ronaldo's curiosity got the best of him. As he approached, he saw a young man juggling a worn-out soccer ball with incredible skill. Every touch was flawless, every movement precise. The boy's control over the ball was mesmerizing, his feet moving in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the game. He wasn't just playing, he was performing, as if the ball was an extension of himself. Ronaldo watched silently for a moment before stepping closer. The crowd around the boy noticed him first, gasping in shock. One by one, they fell silent, their eyes widening in disbelief. The young man stopped, looking up to see Cristiano Ronaldo himself standing before him, his legendary presence towering like a dream come to life. "What's your name?" Ronaldo asked, his voice calm but intrigued. The boy hesitated. "Luis," he answered. "Luis Mendez." "You have talent, Luis," Ronaldo said. "Where do you play?" Luis lowered his head, gripping the ball tightly. "Nowhere," he admitted. "I used to play for a youth academy, but things happened. I had to stop." Ronaldo's sharp instincts told him there was more to the story. "What happened?" he pressed. Luis sighed, his gaze drifting toward the distant city lights. "My father got sick. I had to drop everything and work to support my family. Football became a dream I had to forget." The words hit Ronaldo deeply. He had worked tirelessly to reach his own dreams, but he knew how life could be unfair. Looking at Luis, he saw more than just talent. He saw potential being wasted by circumstances beyond his control. He saw a younger version of himself fighting against the odds. Ronaldo pulled out his phone. "Stay here," he said firmly. A few moments later, he was speaking to someone. Luis and the others listened in stunned silence. After a short call, Ronaldo turned back to Luis. "Tomorrow morning, you're coming with me to Valdebebas," he said. "I want to see you play on a real pitch." Luis's eyes widened. "Valdebebas? The training ground?" Ronaldo nodded. "You have one chance. Don't waste it." The next morning, Luis stood nervously at the entrance of Real Madrid's elite training facility. The vast fields stretched out before him, pristine and perfectly maintained. He could hardly believe he was standing where legends trained daily. Ronaldo arrived, greeted him with a nod, and led him inside. The young player had never stepped onto a field like this before. His heart pounded as he laced up borrowed boots, his fingers trembling with nervous anticipation. Ronaldo introduced him to one of the youth coaches. "Watch him," Ronaldo simply said, before stepping back, his arms crossed, observing closely. Luis took a deep breath and stepped onto the field. The moment he touched the ball, everything else faded away. His body moved instinctively, every touch smooth, every pass sharp. He played with a passion that couldn't be taught, an energy that couldn't be contained. The coach exchanged glances with Ronaldo, impressed. After a rigorous session, the coach approached them. "This kid, he has something special." Ronaldo smiled. "I know." Luis couldn't believe what was happening. The coach handed him a schedule. "We want you to train with us for a while. Let's see what you can do." Luis's eyes filled with emotion. He turned to Ronaldo. "Why are you doing this for me?" Ronaldo placed a hand on his shoulder. "Because someone once gave me a chance. Now I'm giving one to you." Over the next few weeks, Luis trained harder than ever before. The intensity of professional training was unlike anything he had experienced, but he embraced every challenge. Late nights were spent watching game footage, studying tactics, and refining his weaknesses. Ronaldo kept an eye on him, offering quiet encouragement when needed. One day, after a particularly grueling session, Ronaldo invited Luis to dinner. Sitting across from each other in a small but elegant restaurant, Ronaldo shared stories of his struggles, his childhood in Madeira, the sacrifices his family made, the moments he almost gave up. The difference between those who make it and those who don't, he told Luis, is persistence. You have the talent. The question is, do you have the will? Luis swallowed hard. I do. A month later, Luis was no longer just a street talent. He had earned a place in the academy, training alongside the best. But just as things were looking up, a new challenge arose. One of the senior academy players, jealous of Luis's sudden rise, began making things difficult for him. He would intentionally foul Luis in practice, spread rumors, and mock his background. It was a test of Luis's character, and Ronaldo noticed. One evening after training, Ronaldo pulled Luis aside. You'll always face people who doubt you, he said. The only way to silence them is to succeed. Let your game do the talking. Luis took those words to heart. He didn't retaliate. Instead, he worked harder. He focused, trained longer, and proved himself every time he stepped on the field. Soon, the same player who once mocked him began to respect him. A few months later, Luis played in his first official match for the youth team. Ronaldo was in the stands, watching as Luis scored a stunning goal, cementing his place in the team. That night, as Luis walked back through the same park where he had once played with a tattered ball, a group of kids gathered around him, watching in awe. He smiled and passed them the ball. Show me what you've got. And for Luis Mendez, the future suddenly looked brighter than ever. And that brings us to the end of this story. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more inspiring stories. Have a great day.